I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about a legislative effort to restore budget funding for mobile field hospitals in California. My guest is Freddie Rodriguez, a member of the State Assembly from Chino, also the chair of the Joint Legislative Committee on Emergency Management. Thanks for being back with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it for being here.
So for our viewers who may not be aware of this, we have three very large, fully functioning mobile hospitals that I guess right now are just sitting in mothballs.
Yes, you know, originally the state purchased 3 mobile field hospitals several years ago in anticipation that if we have a major disaster in California, that we have these 3 fully functional mobile field hospitals ready to go and assist.
And the idea is that they could be at one of these disasters, say an earthquake, a big earthquake, certainly within 72 hours. They are large enough, they have 200 beds, they have full staff and equipment and pharmaceutical unit. I mean, they are just like a real hospital.
Yes, you know, it's unique. These hospitals, these mobile field hospitals, they can treat up to 200 patients. They have their own emergency room, pharmacy, cafeteria, surgical suites. It's a fully functional hospital, but just in a mobile capacity.
So the state bought these a few years ago, but they didn't provide the funding to keep, or actually the funding was cut out of the 2011 budget?
Yes,
right.
They felt that we purchased these hospitals for a need, and really they look forward that, hey, well, we haven't even used them, so why continue to maintain them? But I think we've been lucky as Californians that we haven't had that big disaster yet. We're prone to disasters, the fires, floods, and earthquakes. Just so far so good, we haven't had that major earthquake, but if we do have it, be rest assured that having these 3 fully functional hospitals strategically placed throughout the state are there to take care of the people here in California.
So you have introduced legislation that would restore the budget for these 3 hospitals, correct?
Yes, I have legislation for $2 million to set aside to maintain and transport these 3 mobile field hospitals throughout different parts of the state of California, because people don't understand there's a lot of medical equipment in there that needs to be calibrated. Some of the medication in the pharmacies of these hospitals need to be updated and make sure they don't expire.
And so this would, assuming this passes for this 1 year, that would get us through 1 year. Ideally, you would like to see a $2 million appropriation every year to keep these mobile hospitals fully functioning.
Yes, that's the ideal purpose. And hopefully that we never have any major disaster, but if we were, we have these hospitals ready to go.
So let's say your legislation passes. We have 3 mobile field hospitals. I think folks all around the state would like to have one in their neighborhood or close to them. Where do you think they would be placed?
Well, one I look down in Southern California, right? Maybe in the LA County area, one maybe in the Bay Area, and one up here in the Sacramento area. 3 strategically located hospitals that are already in place and be ready to go.
I guess we should also say that rural communities, which are not close to hospital facilities to start with, would probably like something in the region.
Yes, and the other part of it is you can transport these mobile field hospitals within 72 hours to an area where needed.
Right. So your legislation has been approved in its first policy committee, which is a good thing, and now it sits in the Appropriations Committee on what's called suspense. In other words, they're holding it aside to find out what the budget figures look like in mid-May.
Yes, and I'm going to do my part to make sure that people are aware of those mobile field hospitals, and really what's most important to have these fully functional hospitals ready to go, not only here in Sacramento, but throughout the state.
You have support from, let's say, law enforcement or some of these other associations or organizations that
I'm in the process of getting support and some of my colleagues as well, because they all see that it's a need, and really as Californians, we've been lucky, right?
All right. Well, we're out of time for this segment, but Assemblymember Rodriguez, thanks very much for coming by and talking about this. We'll watch the progress of your legislation moving forward.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on My Government on Demand, YouTube, and the California Channel.